Tonight, you will do something your ancestors never could. You will flip a switch, and the darkness will disappear. Just like that. But here is the thing. That switch has only existed for about 150 years. Before that, for 300,000 years, when the sun went down, the world went dark. Not dim, not quiet, dark. The kind of dark where you cannot see your own hand in front of your face. The kind of dark where something could be standing 1 foot away from you and you would never know. And every single one of your ancestors lived in that darkness. Every night, for most of human history. So tonight, when you wake up at 3 a.m. and stare at the ceiling, before you reach for your phone, I want you to hear this first. Because what I am about to tell you changes everything. About sleep, about fire, about stories, about you. Let us start with the dark, real darkness. Not the darkness of your bedroom with the curtains closed. Real darkness meant danger. Your eyes, as intelligent as you are terrible in the dark. A leopard can see perfectly at night. A hyena can smell you from a mile away in complete darkness. A wolf pack moves silently through the black, and you would never hear them coming. For most of human history, when the sun went down, you stopped moving. You found a tree, you climbed it, you stayed still. Because moving at night meant becoming food. This was not paranoia. This was Tuesday. Every single night of your ancestors' life was a calculation. Stay still, stay quiet, stay alive. The darkness was not peaceful. It was not romantic. It was a wall. A hard, black, dangerous wall that cut the useful day in half. And for hundreds of thousands of years, nobody could break through it. And then came fire. Now I know what you're thinking. Everyone knows about fire. But here is what nobody tells you about what fire actually did. Fire did not just keep humans warm. Fire broke the wall. Think about what that means. Before fire, the useful day ended at sunset. Maybe 12 hours in summer, 8 hours in winter. That was it. Sundown, day over. But fire suddenly added 2 to 4 usable hours to every single day. Every single day, over thousands of generations, those extra hours did not just change what humans did. They changed what humans became. And there was something else fire did, something even more important than light. Fire created a circle of safety, about 30 feet wide. Inside that circle, predators would not come. Outside that circle, you were on your own. That circle of firelight became the most important place on Earth. It was home. It was safety. It was the first room humans ever had. And inside that room, something extraordinary began to happen. People started talking. Not the way they talked during the day. During the day, talk was work. Where are the animals? Which plants are safe? Who owes who what? Practical. Necessary. Efficient. But at night, around the fire, something shifted. The work was done. The children were settling. The predators were held back by the flames. And humans relaxed. Researchers spent years recording conversations among one of the last hunter-gatherer groups on Earth, the Juhuansi people of the Kalahari Desert, who still live something close to the original human way of life. What they found was remarkable. During the day, 80% of conversations were practical. But at night, around the fire, 81% were stories. Not instructions, not complaints, not logistics. Stories. Tales of people in faraway places. Adventures nobody in the circle had lived. Myths about where the world came from. Jokes that made the whole camp laugh until their sides hurt. The campfire was the first classroom, the first theater, the first church. Every story your culture ever told, every myth, every legend, every hero, every god, started in a moment exactly like that. A circle of people, a fire in the middle, darkness all around, and one voice rising above the flames. This is where human culture was born, not in cities, not in schools, not in temples, around a fire, in the dark, 10,000 years before anyone thought to write it down. But here is where the story gets personal, because it is not just about stories. It is about how you sleep. And I need you to hear this carefully, because everything you think you know about sleep is wrong. Before the industrial age, nobody on Earth slept the way you sleep right now. Not one person. They did not sleep 8 hours straight. They did not set an alarm. They did not wake up and immediately start the day. They slept in 2 separate blocks, 4 hours of sleep, then waking, then 4 more hours of sleep every night for thousands of years. Historian Roger E. Kirch spent 16 years digging through old records, prayer books from the 1400s, court documents, private diaries, medical texts, letters from ordinary people. He found over 500 references to the same thing, first sleep and second sleep. This was not unusual. This was not a disorder. This was simply how humans slept. The window between first and second sleep even had a name. They called it the watch. And during the watch, that quiet hour or two in the middle of the night, people did not lie there in panic, wondering why they could not sleep. They knew they were supposed to be awake. So what did they do? They thought about their dreams while they were... But science remembers. In 1992, a psychiatrist named Thomas Ware at the National Institute of Mental Health ran an experiment. He took a group of volunteers and removed all artificial light from their lives. For 1 month, they experienced 14 hours of darkness every night, just like our ancestors before fire extended the evening. Within a few weeks, something happened that nobody expected. Every single volunteer settled into the same sleep. Nobody told them to. Nobody suggested it. 4 hours of sleep, 1 to 3 hours of quiet wakefulness, then 4 more hours of sleep. Their bodies just remembered, as if some ancient program had been sitting inside them the whole time, waiting, buried under centuries of artificial light, just waiting for the darkness to come back. But here is the part that truly stops me. Ware measured their hormone levels during that middle waking period, and what he found was extraordinary. Their brains were producing elevated levels of prolactin, the same hormone that floods the brain during deep meditation, the same hormone released after moments of profound peace. The volunteers described the experience in almost identical words: peaceful, reflective, calm in a way they had never felt while fully awake. It was not just a gap between 2 sleeps, it was its own state of consciousness, a distinct, beautiful, deeply human state of mind that most of us have never experienced, not once in our entire lives. So what happened to it? Light happened. In the 1600s, cities began installing street lamps. Paris was first. London followed. Night, which had always been a place of danger, slowly became something you could move through. Then cheaper candles. Then gas lamps in the 1800s. Then in 1879, Thomas Edison commercialized the electric light bulb, and within 1 generation, the night as humans had known it for 300,000 years was gone. Do you know where the word curfew comes from? It comes from the French, couvre-feu. It literally means cover fire. In medieval towns, a bell would ring at night, signaling everyone to cover or extinguish their flames. Because night was supposed to be dark. Night was when you were vulnerable. Night belonged to the dangerous and the desperate. In many medieval European cities, walking outside after dark without a lantern was literally illegal. Night was not an extension of the day. Night was a different world entirely. And then we conquered it. We flooded it with light and called it progress. But nobody asked what we were giving up. Here is what we lost. The average person today is exposed to artificial light 7 to 8 hours after sunset. Your phone, your television, the lamp in your bedroom, the glow from the street outside your window. Your body cannot tell the difference between a light bulb and the sun. When light hits your eyes at 11 at night, your brain does not know it is 11 at night. It thinks it is noon. Melatonin, the hormone that tells your body it is time to rest, gets suppressed. Your sleep gets fragmented. Your circadian rhythm, the ancient clock that evolved over millions of years, gets broken. Researchers found that people who go camping for just 1 week with no artificial light at all have their melatonin cycles reset by nearly 2 hours. 1 week. That is all it takes for 300,000 years of programming to come back. But it is not just about melatonin. It is not just about sleep quality. We did not just change when we sleep. We eliminated an entire phase of human consciousness. That quiet state. That reflective, meditative, peaceful watch. That space between first and second sleep where humans processed their lives. Where they sat with their thoughts. Where they simply existed without distraction. It is gone. And in its place, we have insomnia. We treat it like a disorder. We prescribe medication for it. We tell people something is wrong with them. But what if nothing is wrong? What if waking up at 2 a.m. and lying in the dark is not your body malfunctioning? What if it is your body remembering? For 300,000 years, your ancestors spent their nights in a rhythm we are only beginning to understand again. They gathered around fires and told stories that became the foundation of every civilization on Earth. They slept in 2 phases with a window of quiet reflection between them. They lived under darkness so complete that the Milky Way was not something you drove to see. It was just the sky. Every night, for every one of your ancestors. Going back further than we can imagine. The same stars, the same fire, the same darkness, and the same quiet waking in the middle of the night. Lying still, thinking about their dreams, thinking about their lives, thinking about the world they would wake up to in the morning. We traded all of that for a light switch, and most of us never even knew it was gone. So tonight, I want to ask you something. When you wake up at 3 a.m., and you will before you reach for your phone, just wait. Stay in the dark. Let your eyes stay closed. Let the silence be silence. Do not fill it with noise. Do not fill it with light. Just lie there. The way every human who ever lived before you once lay there. In the dark, in the quiet, in the watch. And see what your mind does when you finally stop interrupting it. You might be surprised what it has been trying to tell you all this time. The fire is still inside you. You just forgot to tend it.